hundreds of interviews, emails, and phone calls, connecting with people, events, and work that happened 4 decades ago. I logged thousands of miles by car, plane, and train to interview, research, and acquire art that ended up in this book. I'm glad to say that this volume will help shine a light on the work of people like George Opperman, Cliff Spohn, Susan Jekyll, Reagan Cheng, Fred Thompson, Hiro Kimura, and many, many more. These talented creatives weren't just selling video games, though. They were leading us by the hand into uncharted territory. By today's standards, the games were simple, crude, and visually underwhelming. But that's not how they felt at their introduction. The phosphor bright worlds that Atari created were groundbreaking. It might be hard for today's kids who've cut their teeth on multi-threaded processors and advanced graphical engines to comprehend this nascent world and its impact. It was even hard for us to understand at the time, never having seen anything like it. You could play games on your TV screen? It was also new that artists, creative people, were needed not only help sell the titles, but to provide a narrative thread connecting us to these simple games. Art and design played a pivotal role in pulling wide-eyed kids like myself into the world of video games. Then connecting those dots, almost literally, with the dots on screen. When I sat down with my joystick, I wasn't just a rectangle bouncing a ball against a wall of blocks. I was a marooned astronaut facing off against an otherworldly anomaly in deep space. These artists created something real with their paintbrushes and inks, ushering us into worlds filled with style, power, and beauty, creating a lasting, emotional connection from gamers to the thrill of playing something like Adventure, Pac-Man, Galaxian, or Yar's Revenge. These pieces of art are also fantastic works in their own right, and since they stand in for our bubblegum childhood days, there is an added emotional resonance that ties them forever to nostalgic moments and those pixelated adventures. These creatives helped craft our relationships to the first home video games, and Atari specifically. The Atari 2600 was one of the best-selling video game systems of all time, with an estimated 30 million units sold over the life of the Page 9 console. Because of its incredible reach and quality, Atari left its indelible mark on an embryonic industry, as well as in our collective pop culture consciousness. The original brand still stands for amazing fun, classic video games, and that category of easy to play, difficult to master gaming experiences. Atari and its associated memories are powerful stuff, and those of my generation who grew up with these games can now revisit those worlds, not just by playing the old games, but by entering into the work that tied us to them. With a lack of preservation process and decades of change for Atari, few of the original pieces of art still exist. My goal is to resurrect the best of Atari's art and design, allowing present and future generations to appreciate, understand, and enjoy it. This book is dedicated